that's not helpful. Right, cheers to the future. I'm at Yan'an West Road metro station because we're going to find the Line 71 bus. But I wanted to show you this robot cafe. It's totally automated and it makes a cup of coffee for you and delivers it out of this hole here. So let's order one and see how it goes. And we're going to use WeChat Digital Pay. So we will use our phone to scan. Okay, and then that's done. So here you go. There's our coffee. And that took about what? I think about something like 2 minutes. Anyway, thank you. So there you go, Fresh Ground Robot Cafe. There's a Line 3 train. There's the nice park in the sun. And then Line 71 over this way. So there we can see the Line 71 bus coming in on its dedicated lane, which is also available for police and ambulance. There you go. So the station here for the buses is actually called Kaishuanlu, and it's actually slightly special because it also has some other lines that use it. The 1250, the 1251. I'll explain those a little bit in a minute when we have a look at the map. And here we have a 1250 going through right now. And here we have that map which shows the 3 individual bus lines that we've got here. So there's Line 71 in yellow going east-west, starting at Shengkenglu bus terminal near Hongqiao Airport and going all the way to the Bund, which is where we are going today. We've got around about 14 stops, I think, to get there. Here you can see the 1251, 1250, and there's this complicated intersection here. We've got everything apart from 1250, I'm going to guess, going north on this route here, stopping at Kaishuanlu. Okay, so what I need to do now is actually find a 71 that's going eastwards. Here is a 71, so I'm going to jump on this one. Convenient. And I'm going to use my card. There we go. That was quite convenient timing. Now the traffic's quite light today because it's around about 11 o'clock. But you can see we've got this dedicated lane all of the way. People using apps on their phone. It's exactly the same as the metro method. You can see we have these dedicated lights just for us as well. I don't know whether they operate any differently to the normal lights, but they're certainly for Line 71. Now I'm lucky to have got the shotgun seat. You can see I've got the driver just right next to me here, and he keeps the pace up. I can tell you, he's really pushing for time. Pedestrian getting in the middle of traffic there. Now Zhangdelu station. There's the Russian exhibition centre just over there. Can't really see it very well. You get to see some sights of Shanghai here, but not many, but at least some. So we're about halfway. We started at West Jian'anlu. Here we are, almost like right in the centre near Jinan, and we're heading towards the Bund, which is on the riverside. So that's where it really helps. We can just push through all of that traffic. I know that was all turning left, but still, it's cars that can easily get in the way of the normal traffic. You can see there's these various entrances to the elevated road that we have above us here. That's obviously a quicker way to do it than down here for the cars. So as we go, we're pretty much losing everybody. We had almost a half-full bus when I got on, but in fact we're down to only about 2 or 3 of us now. I guess people are just going to their places of work or for lunchtime. Right, something's happening that has confused me. We've just turned off the route. So I think I must have got a 71 that does not go all of the way to the Bund. They've got it's a short stopper, basically. And it's my Chinese language that's the problem. So I think this bus is now going to start travelling back westwards. That's it, drivers stopped, lights are off, telling people to go right. So I've learned something about line 71. Right, it's worth just pointing out some of the highlights as well. So we've got this is the Shanghai Museum. It's quite a famous one, and we are on the edge of People's Square. People's Square is over there, and you've got the main government building in the middle of it there as well. Okay, so it's kind of understandable why the bus uses this as a terminal turnaround stop, because it is People's Square. Many people will use this as a destination, I guess. It's interesting, you can see here that so there's this articulated bus here. Doing some research, there's something like 40 articulated and 28 non-articulated buses running on this line. So there's over 60 buses just dedicated to line 71. So you know, quite extensive. There's my bus coming in. Now the trouble is, that means that this trip has cost me twice as much, because I've had to pay 2 trips. One, it's charged me 1 RMB, I guess, because it realises that I'm not going that far. I think we've only got 3 stops to go, and that will explain why that last bus was so empty, because everybody apart from me knew that it was an early stopper. I'm going to have to figure out the characters to avoid that in future. That's the main, you can see it through the trees, that's the main Shanghai concert hall. That whole building was moved brick by brick to get it out of the way of this road. Okay, it was moved only something like 20 meters to make way for Jian'anlu. And then here's another site. So this building here, I think it was called The World in the past, and it was basically where you had restaurants and bars and various other nighttime activities would happen. It's been changed into a Chinese museum now. And then over on the other side of the bus we've got a corner of People's Square, and you can just see the top of the Marriott Hotel, which is part of the Tomorrow's Square area. So you can see there's these old buildings all boarded up now. They're probably going to be taking those down and redeveloping them. And this street coming up here, I've forgotten the modern name of it, but it used to be called Blood Alley. So it's, I couldn't quite see it. That was where all of the sailors would come for bars and various other nighttime activities, and it was called Blood Alley because of all of the fights that would break out amongst all of the drunken men. So there's the Pudong skyline, and the bus does a U-turn here to get ready for the return trip. And there we have it. So there we've got at least a clear display board, so it's 12:20, and the DR6679 is leaving at 12:25, except it didn't. it just left. But that's okay, because there's another one that's just pulled up, and there's another one behind as well, so it is well served. Ha! So the service opened in February 2017, and so that's why they're celebrating 6 years of the service being opened. There's another bus that's moving the Bund terminal station. Right, I'm going to go up and see the river. Convenient. So there we are with the famous Pudong skyline behind us. So you can see we've got the Suzhou Shanghai Tower, and also the Shanghai World Financial Center and the Jinmao Tower as the three super tools, various hotels as well, and then there's the Pearl Tower, which was the TV tower, which was put over in Pudong before any of the other buildings, kind of as like an advertising landmark. We've also got the Bund buildings behind us, which I'll try to name some of them. So this is the Waldorf Hotel, which used to be the British club. Difficult to get into in those days. And we also have, let's see, this is the Customs House with the clock on the top, which was supposedly the largest clock in the whole of Asia. Some people say it still is now. I don't quite believe that. And then we've got the Cathay Pacific Hotel with the green roof in the background. And then Shanghai Mansions is also a famous building. That's the other side of Suzhou Creek. So there's the Cathay Pacific Peace Hotel, and there's a walking street now on Nanjinglu, and that's why it's a little bit busier here, because a lot of people will have used that to get here to the Bund. And it's quite a thing to get your photo taken, so you can see what they're doing here is selling photos of people with the backdrop of either the Bund buildings or Pudong skyline. Victor Sassoon actually used to live in a very swish apartment right up at the top there. I believe it's now owned by the Jinjiang Hotel Group, which is essentially part of the Chinese government. So it is now government owned. So as I mentioned earlier, this is an area which was a foreigners only park, unfortunately, and it's been converted into a more Chinese dedicated, it's the Shanghai People's Heroes Memorial Garden, and then there's the tower behind it. So, seeing as I'm here on the Bund, I should show you the entrance, at least, to the Bund sightseeing tunnel, which somebody has referred to as being akin to a cheap version of the journey at the end of 2001. It's quite a ride. Now, unfortunately, I've just translated this, and it is closed just for today for maintenance, but you can see the entrance there, and maybe I will actually take it for a video at some stage in the future. So that's a little bit of the park there, and then it goes on up to the Heroes Monument. So there's the skyline again, and there's the Heroes Monument. So there's the Huangpu River, and this is the mouth of Suzhou Creek. And there's the Garden Bridge, as it's called. I think there was some call to replace that with something more modern, and everybody in the city voted to keep it. There's also the Peninsula Hotel here, and the British Embassy used to be in the grounds of that. So here on the Garden Bridge you can see this is quite a famous spot for people getting their photos taken. Whoops, heavy cheek. There's a few more details about the bridge. And there's the Astor House Hotel a bit closer up. And the Shanghai apartments. So here's some details of the Astor House Hotel, which has actually been changed into the China Securities Museum. The Russian embassy is across the street in this building, and it's interesting to see that they've got this grey barrier all the way across the front. Now, whether that is because of it being redecorated, doesn't really look like it, or whether that's due to some recent problems, let's say. Who knows? Anyway, there's the Astor House Hotel, nice old building. So there's some more info on the Shanghai mansions, which actually were formerly Broadway mansions. They're completed in 1934, as it said on that plaque there. Let's just have a quick look inside at the Art Deco nature. So there's the modern, and there's the old. There's some photos of the construction of the building, 1934. And there's a snooker table, which is part of the hotel collection. The owners of British and American firms, execs, stayed here often and set up snooker clubs. Shanghai's been putting a lot of effort into making the banks of the Suzhou Creek a lot nicer, and you can see the effort's kind of paid off. Got these gardens, nice view including the bridge. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. A little bit different this time with the bus and some of the Shanghai sights, and see you on the next one. Bye bye.